Yes, we're doing well. We're now well ahead of the Conservatives, ahead of the Labour as well, and I think the momentum is building. There are more and more Labour Party supporters who've given up on the Corbyn leadership, given absolutely no leadership whatever on Europe, sitting on the fence on the most important issue of our generation. And I think they're getting behind us because we're absolutely clear and committed to stopping Brexit.
Of course, Brexit party very clear and committed to keeping Brexit, and they're still way ahead. Why do you think this is?
Well, they've been successful in mobilising the support of people who want Brexit, and there are a lot of them. But the problem on the Remain side is that the parties have been fragmented, and I think they are now coming together, and the Liberal Democrats are leading that.
You advocated a common front with Greens and Change UK. You're doing rather well without them, so glad you didn't.
No, not at all. I'm sad we didn't. I think it would have been much better if we were working together. But, you know, we are where we are, and we've went out to maximise our vote, and that's what we're doing. And indeed, we will want to continue to cooperate with the Greens and Change UK. It's, you know, we're in the same position. We agree with each other. It would be absurd to fight each other. So, you know, we're going to have cooperation, and I don't want this election to get in the way of that.
People describe the election as a soft referendum ahead of a referendum. What happens if Brexit wins?
Well, it depends on what winning means. I don't think Mr Farage is going to get more than 50% of the vote. I mean, they will do well. We're now challenging them, and that's why I think it's important people get behind us, so we've got a very strong challenge. No, it isn't a referendum. We need a referendum, a proper referendum, where the issue is, do people want to leave with the deal the government's got, or to remain, or indeed other options that people may wish to put forward.
And do you think that the result in this referendum will be looked at to put pressure back home?
Well, there will be pressure in both directions. I mean, what is now happening in Britain is the public's become very polarised. You know, the Brexit group is very entrenched, very strident, talking about no deal, potentially disastrous. But equally, Remainers are, you know, very strong. There's very strong feeling. They're mostly young people, actually, who feel their future is being sold down the river, and they, you know, the Remainers are fighting. And I think we stand a very good chance of getting our referendum, and then a very good chance of winning it.
You said in today's press conference that the Lib Dems did very well in local elections recently. Is this doing well real? Is it sustainable? Are you perhaps just a fallback guy for everything that's been happening in Parliament?
No, not at all. I mean, it's something we've been building towards, certainly in the 2 years that I've been at the helm. We started off with a very weak position after 2 bad general elections. I've been trying to rebuild from the bottom up, rebuilding the infrastructure, and we expected to do well, but not quite as well as we did.
I think the timetable for your departure that you yourself gave was actually this month, was May. What's happening there with the leadership contest?
Well, there will be a new leader at the end of the summer. The detailed timetables we're working out. I've made a commitment. I think it's the right thing to do, to hand over to the next generation and to hand over to them on a high, rather than when we're struggling as we were years back.
And who are the contenders? Because, of course, you did want to open it up. You wanted to open up the party to those who weren't MPs.
Yes, I think the party should be open to innovative ideas and bringing new people in. I hope that we'll go back to that agenda. But in the meantime, we've got 2 very good sitting MPs, Joe Swinson, Ed Davey, both important figures in the coalition government with me. And they're potentially very strong leaders. And I'm not taking sides, but either of them would be excellent.
Specific support for Gibraltar Radio Manifesto, and also unique in having a Gibraltarian on your slate. But another thing the Lib Dems have done is bring in the big guns, and by the big guns I of course mean yourself. So why to Gibraltar?
We think Gibraltar matters. It may be only 33,000 people, and we've got 60 million altogether, but it's a territory that Britain has responsibility for, and you deserve our support. Gibraltar's probably more British than Britain and more European than Europe. And this, very clear sense of identity, both British and European, and its demand of self-determination, are things we believe in. They're right, they're important. The fact that you've got a relatively small population doesn't alter that. We regard you as massively important, and we need to defend you.
So your first time on the Rock, have you liked what you've seen?
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful place. I'd like to spend a few more days here and discover more about the history, to climb the Rock on foot and learn more about it. But politics, unfortunately, is pulling me away. But I'll be back with my wife in due course.